Welcome to Financial Literacy 101. This is the second week of class. Yeah, Dolly Parton wasn't the only one that was blessed. What are you talking about? What are you talking to me about? All right, I am the Professor Bay, and I'm going to teach you Financial Literacy 101. Trust me, you want to join this class. Let's just say this. This is the second week of class, and we're going to attack taxes. Oh, yeah. Because the basics of every financial literacy, you need to understand your investments and things of that nature, right? So that's what we're about to get into. Yeah, thank you for joining. Welcome again to Hillman Talk and Hillman Tube and Hillman Book and Hillman Graham and just listen. Hey, I got you, but welcome. Let's get into class. This will probably be the last time you see my face because we need to talk business. We need to talk money. We need to talk financial literacy. Yo. All right, enough of this. Let's get into it. I do look cute though, right? So, taxes. Part of your financial literacy 101 lesson for the second week. According to IRS.gov, the reason for taxes are because resources are factors needed to produce goods and services. Resources can be used to produce private goods and services for individuals and businesses, or they can be used by the government to provide public goods and services. Stick a pin in that. There are three groups of resources: natural resources, human resources, and capital resources, according to IRS.gov. Natural resources are production materials that occur in nature, such as land, oil, and water. Human resources are the people who work to produce goods and services. And then capital resources are production factors such as tools, machines, and factories. Beneath it is a little graphic showing a household to business government, household business government kind of thing. Moving right along. Because resources are limited, class, there are never enough resources to meet every need or want. So, if resources are used one way, they cannot be used another way. Let's explain opportunity cost, which is an economic term used to identify what has been given up when a choice has been made. For example, young people who have enlisted in the armed services, did you know they cannot be in the labor force that produces private goods and services? The private goods and services that are not produced by these young people that have enlisted in the armed services. That's the opportunity cost. So, taxes, according to IRS.gov, shift resources from private individuals and businesses to the government. Taxes also reduce income that would otherwise be available to individuals for savings, investments, and, the purchase of goods and services for their personal use. Let's put to use to some of the things we've just learned, okay? All right. Here's our first assessment. Now, we're going to match the clues to the correct terms that are found in this answer key. We're going to write the letters of each term in the space below each clue. Okay, class? So what did we just learn here? So, first question, or here's the answer key. We have taxes, public goods and services, revenues, resources, defense. All right? A, B, C, D, and E. All right. Now, let's see. What's the first question? Taxes shift these from the private sector to the government. What? We just learned that what? The answer is, let's move right along, see what the answer is. I hope that you answered D. Taxes shift resources from the private sector to the government. All right? What's the next question? Taxes and borrowed money are two examples used by government. Let's look at the answer key. We already have D. Taxes and borrowed money are two examples used by the government. All right. Well, the answer is C. Revenue. Next question. Governments purchase these for the benefit of the community as a whole. What do they purchase for the benefit of the community as a whole? B. Public goods and services. Now, the next question. When individuals pay these, they have less money to spend on personal goods and services. That's got to be A. That's got to be A. A. Taxes. Okay? And finally, the next question. An example of goods and services provided by our government. It's E. The final and only answer available has to be, which is defense. Yes. Okay. All right. We did learn something. Okay. Now, according to the IRS.gov, the government provides public goods and services for the community as a whole. The government also regulates business activities and redistributes income. Now, in order to pay its bills, the government needs revenue or a source of income. Did you know that? So, the money that the government uses to pay its bills is most commonly from taxes, right? Financially literate now on that part, but the next graph we're about to see, this circle graph that we're about to see, is going to show the revenues and the outlays or the expenditures for the federal government in 2022, right? Let's look at it. All right. You probably can't really see it, but that's by design because this is a free course and this is free. Anyway, just trust me when I say this is the income pie chart and this is the outlay or expenditure pie chart, right? And these pie charts show the relative sizes of the major categories of federal income and outlays for the fiscal year of 2022. And the stuff that brought in the money to the government was at 42% personal taxes. The next big thing that brought money into the government was Social Security, Medicare, and unemployment and other retirement taxes. After that, what brought money into the government was borrowing. Yeah, they literally borrowed to cover their debts. 22% of that in 2022. The next thing that they brought in some money from was corporate income taxes, but it was only 7%, y'all. I mean, they want to be qualified as humans and all that good stuff, but my God. And the other was from customs, estate, gifts, and, taxes and stuff like that. Only 6%. Now, that was the money they brought in 2022. Now, the money that they spent in 2022, the expenditures was 33% of it went to Social Security. Damn it. All right. Then the next largest thing went to social programs. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by social programs, but 25%. Then they said, 17% went to the national defense, veterans, and foreign affairs situation. And then the next thing we had was physical community development, human stuff, that we actually need. 14%, they spent money on that. Okay. But 3% on law enforcement. Okay, that was pretty good. Okay, well, interesting. Let's do another exercise, okay? We're gonna try something real quick. All right, well, we're gonna have to continue what we just learned in the next video because we're gonna answer these 5 questions next in the next video. Class, you have been great. Follow me over to the next video for week 2's Financial Literacy 101. And I'm your professor, the Professor Beck.